We are now here at the marketplace. I cannot even... Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. I wanted to change the character.
It's good to see
And
you.
yeah, last time I sold all my useless crap.
It is God who arms me with strength.
Oh, okay. I guess we're gonna be like ambushed by some bad guys or something.
He makes my feet like the feet of...
Okay. Ooh, a camel. I guess there's no caches or anything here, so I suppose I'm just supposed to walk around until something happens. So to this guy, I don't want to waste my money. I'm usually like when I play RPGs like this, I'm very stingy. Yeah, sounds right. Like I don't like to use my money like to buy new equipment, especially since they will be replaced in like 30 seconds anyway with better ones. And also I don't usually like to use consumable items a lot. Okay, so I can donate weapons and armor that I don't need. Well, I sold all the crap, so it's too late.
Greetings, Guardians. We meet yet again. When you are not busy speaking with the merchants, Edda, Recall, and myself each take donations for those in need. Anything. This market has much to offer.
Okay.
Oh, so kind of you.
Rain and light. I guess I have to go get it from the chest. So I think it was in the previous screen. Yeah, Zion. Oh, in the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down way. Oh, I remember Zion. Yeah, I don't want to talk to that bitch yet. Where is the chest stash? I guess I can like go donate this stuff. I don't want to donate this. This might be... Yeah, not this one. I guess I can donate this stuff just for fun, to see what happens. But yeah, like one thing I like about like, well, the Bible and I guess any like religion with a comprehensive mythology or whatever like explanation of the world is that they don't really give a fuck about like woohoo. Woohoo. Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh. Bah.
May the Lord bless you.
Spice merchant. So wait, this is okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, this actually seems like a sort of interesting system, I guess. But yeah, like I was saying, the thing I like about religions, they don't give a fuck about like the values of modernity. Like if you really like like a proper believer and not like, you know, well, most so-called Christians are completely lukewarm bankers, basically. Like they just, you know, believe whatever like modern science allows them to believe. Like you know, I guess they don't really believe that Jesus did miracles or something, or like angels exist or anything like that, since, like, you know, according to modern science they cannot exist, or like, you know, Jesus couldn't have walked on water, or I don't know, healed the sick or just by his hands or anything like that. So like, yeah, I think, well, one of the most interesting things is like the Bible, basically. According to Bible, the earth, I don't know if it's really, you can say it's necessarily flat like the earth, but at least it's clearly not a spinning ball that's spinning around the sun. Like, I think the Bible quite clearly says that like the earth is stationary, and then the lights in the sky go around us, and I think that's how
Welcome
most
back.
ancient religions
now
believed
is a
it to
good
be.
time
And
for you to learn about the map table and David's grand plan. Please speak with Nariah.
And really, like, if you look at all of this stuff like scientifically, instead of just believing what the so-called experts say, like, it's not so far-fetched. Like, I'm not a flat earther. I don't think that the earth is necessarily flat, but I don't believe in the spinning, heliocentric spinning ball earth theory either. It's like a... And yeah, it's... Oh, okay. This is how I can use this Plague of Fly.
Can't do that.
Interesting. But yeah, it's yeah, I suppose it's not something I just, you know, made up one day, like, oh, I don't believe in this stuff. I base it on some fact, and if you think I'm being if I'm dumb or crazy or something, I suggest you look into it yourself.
With each of King David's exploits against the enemies of Israel. Inspect it at your leisure to see what David has in store for us next.
But yeah, like, I don't know, I don't want to go too much into like the shape of the earth here, or like NASA, because like eventually, like, if you think like you say that, oh, okay, so this earth isn't shaped as we thought, so I was like, how about NASA and stuff? Well, NASA is just, you know, they're complete liars. Escape refine. So these are like, can I like choose a mission? So these are the ones that I already did. So I guess this is the next mission. Yeah, I don't want to read all of it. So we kick some Valley of Refine. Because, like, yeah, I think a lot of, like, of course there's a lot of stuff that works when it comes to...
David's kingdom was secure and his new capital established, he decided to send for his family. He had sent them to Mesen, king of Moab, as a safeguard during his struggles with Saul.
Like, when it comes to modern science and technology, like, it's undeniable. Like, just look at, you know, I'm using this computer on the internet and you're watching a video on YouTube or whatever, so clearly it has yielded some sort of, like, you know, tangible results. But I think, like, there's like these two aspects of modern science: the actual stuff that works, and a lot of that is just basically religious belief.
A merchant who had just returned from Moab. Recall related the dreadful news that the Moabite king had ordered his family killed. Only his eldest brother, Eliab, had escaped and had fled north to the Ammonite city of Rabbah. The Ammonite king, Nahash, took him in and gave him shelter. David ordered the room clear and called for his generals. David and his advisors discussed the practicality of an assault on the Moabite kingdom. Shammah and Abishai cautioned against rashness, while Joab and Benaiah proposed a swift attack that would take the enemy off guard. As the men strategized and planned, a messenger suddenly burst into the room. The messenger had come from the village of Sarif in the southwest.
Please don't make it too.
The messenger delivered his report. The Philistines were marching on Hebron.
Don't make it too long. I wanna kick some ass.
David called for water for the messenger, while the others quickly abandoned their Moabite campaign to focus on the defense of Hebron. The next morning, the men worked tirelessly through the night to devise a defensive strategy for the city of Hebron. They had but one choice: to have the city abandoned. David would not be able to marshal his army and reach Hebron before the Philistines. David inquired of the Lord if he should take up arms against the Philistines. The Lord answered, "Go up, for I will certainly give the Philistines into your hand." David immediately began to assemble his forces. His plan was simple. Having the city of Hebron abandoned would make it an unappealing target for the Philistines. If he began marching his army on the Philistine capital of Gath, the Philistine army would have to turn to stop them. David predicted they would meet in the valley of Rephaim to the southwest. David dispatched his niece Ariella to the city of Hebron. She took word for all
Why
there
would
to flee the
he
city
send
immediately.
a
David
woman?
instructed her to round up any stragglers and escort them to safety.
It smells like modern bullshit. Doesn't sound... yeah. Refugees. I don't wanna lead the refugees to safety. What?
You there! Halt!
What? Fuck you, bitch.
Alert, intruders!
No.
Alert! Intruder!
Alert, alert, alert. Oh, I have like actual attacks and stuff. They're quite pussies. They lose to a woman with like no armor and just a couple of daggers. I cannot access the inventory. But anyway, like, yeah, back to the Bible and stuff, and like how it's, I think it's a good thing that it's an offers an alternative to modernity. Is that like a, well, another thing is evolution. Is like, yeah, it's this funny meme that
Who's there?
if you don't believe in evolution, you're a retard and stuff. But like this
You there! Halt!
rational atheists, they don't like know shit. Like, since I'm pretty sure they haven't really looked into like all of the actual physical evidence that people use to like try to prove evolution and stuff. They just, because they've been told that, oh, the smart scientists, they believe in evolution, so it must be true. That's basically like my experience, like just looking, I don't know, people on the internet or in real life talk about evolution and stuff, because like well, if you just like to the origin of life on Earth, ooh, stoop. Yeah, the origin of life.
Who's there?
Oh no! Run away! And now, evil. Women are so evil. Don't be a woman, okay?
You there! Halt!
But yeah, evolution and stuff is like everybody says like, oh, it's been proven without any doubt and stuff. But like, yeah, if you go just how did life start on Earth? Like they say something like, oh, it rained on Earth on some rocks, and then some amino acids created life or something, but they haven't proven it. Like even theoretically, that how it could happen, or like if it could happen, like did it happen? And I'm pretty sure no scientist was there back then, like millions of years ago, when life on Earth supposedly started. But when the Philistines heard that they had anointed David king over Israel, all the Philistines came up to seek David, and David heard of it and went down to the herd. Was he like in a ship or something? Whatever. But yeah, like because like that's just like
Okay,
to say that.
move up.
Oh, don't talk to yourself, bitch. To like prove that evolution is like some unquestionable fact. Yeah, go there and kick it. Like because like nobody knows how life really started, and I'm not saying that the biblical explanation is necessarily better, but it is an alternative, and it's like from a different standpoint and stuff, and it's at least as valid as the conventional evolution theory, if even like, or possibly even more valid. Oh, okay, that's actually easy. I can just throw knives at the bitches. And you cannot see through those spikes, but I'm too dumb anyways. But they're even dumber, so it's okay. Hey, attack. But yeah, like you haven't like many of the evidence, like there's plenty of evidence that much of the subspecies or whatever that are used as evidence that evolution has occurred. Like this, you know, that one species has turned into another, like macroevolution, that it has happened. Like in the early days, there's been lots of like hoaxes and stuff. The scientists, they just wanna, they're either for like financial
Alert, intruders!
financial benefits or like ideological reasons, like that, like all this, you know, Piled Down Man and whatever. I don't remember all of that stuff, but like it's, and I'm not saying this because I'm like even though I'm like defending the Bible sort of, but I'm not like I'm not a religious person. I like to have a scientific worldview, or like, well, science and religion, they don't like they are not mutually exclusive necessarily. Like sure they do conflict, I would say sometimes with each other, but like overall. But yeah, anyway, like that is just evolution is some theory that some dude devised over 100 years ago, and now we're sort of like supposed to just pretend that there is no, that's all there is basically. Or hey, bitch, Boyd. And yeah, like because yeah, why the Bible then like is a complete or more like evolution theory is a complete like contradiction to what the Bible says, is because like it says that Bible God, hey bitch, God created all these different species and two genders and whatever, two sexes for at least for many different, most animals and stuff, but evolution says that it's actually sort of fluid, like actually.
Who's there?
Oh. So yeah, it's actually quite interesting because like, I thought they were like, I don't know, guys I saved or something, but I guess not. but like yeah, it's there's like a because like Bible and I think religion in general says that there is a distinction, like a boundary between like man and woman, and like I don't know, a human being and a monkey, or a human being and a cat, or a fish or something. But and like that's the old school view of things, like traditional religious view that probably applies to most religions. But like modernity, like evolution says like no, it's like more like a spectrum of what sort of being you are at which point and stuff. Like okay, right now we are human beings, but 2000 years from now maybe we evolve into something else, and like I don't know, 100,000 years ago or whenever, like we were just Cro-Magnon or monkeys or however the dates and the years. So I'm talking to them, okay. Like it's supposedly constantly shifting, whereas in Bible it says like okay, there's a man and a woman and God created them to be like this, and like it's actually like seems to be an extension of the theory of evolution, all of this transgenderism stuff nowadays, and like gender is they say it's a spectrum. Yeah, gender is supposedly a spectrum instead, and not like bicarmation or whatever, like with two distinct genders. Like it's like, and it's like gender is fluid supposedly. Ooh, gender fluid and all that shit. But it's just basically how evolution is about like biology. That of course, like it says, takes millions of years, but it's not like a really explanation. Like since millions of years is longer than any human could even like conceive. Not even like even in the Bible, like some people live like 1,000 years, but no human lived millions of years or even hundreds of thousands of years to really see evolution happen. So yeah, I just think it's bullshit, and it's mostly perpetuated by the Caesar's new clothes idea, like because like they laugh at you like if you don't believe in evolution and stuff. And yeah, I should like clarify, like microevolution happens, like of course there are differences between like individuals in the same species and stuff, and of course like you inherit attributes from your parents and stuff, and so there are differences in that sense, but bonk. Cachet.
In order to prepare for the Philistines, David went to the stronghold. Although the Bible does not identify the location of the stronghold, it is likely that it was at Adullam and included the cave.
But when the Philistines heard that they had anointed David king over Israel, all the Philistines came up to seek David, and David heard of it and went down to the herd.
Wait, isn't the same stuff as last time? I don't remember. Anyway, but like what was I saying? At least I said something about the like emperor's new clothes. Like you're afraid to
are impassable. We'll need to move through the lower trails.
Criticize evolution because they call you as like a retard or whatever, but actually they're the retard, since like I don't know, like maybe there are some evolutionary biologists that actually have like a proper argument to make for the theory of evolution, but like at least like the stuff that I've heard, it's not very convincing, but except for like microevolution, yeah, like, but I don't like see
Alert!
any.
Intruders!
It doesn't make sense, or haven't seen any evidence that like a fish turns into a dog over millions of years or something. It's just fucking dumb. Like, and I don't. There is no real proper evidence of it. There just isn't. Like, present it to me if you think there is. But yeah, and so that, but that's not to say that I'm saying you should like just, you know, accept what the Bible or any other like ancient religious text says about origin of life and all that.
Provided a great defensive position, David would have been prevented from going on the offense if he stayed in a city.
Since that's not scientific either, but at least like it doesn't pretend to be. So I value them much more, like mythology and stuff in issues like this than evolution stuff, since it's a pseudoscience that has like taken over the whole fucking world. I don't know, it's just for me who like I prefer to try to understand things rationally, but like one thing about being rational is that you cannot understand everything rationally, like and you cannot really know unless you get like unless you get a time machine, or you really, I don't know, meet up, like God gives you a vision how actually life started. The only thing we have is like guesses. Like we can guess, maybe it was like this, maybe it was like in the Bible, or maybe it was like a panspermia from another planet or something. But then it's like, okay, how did life start up on the other planet? But it's all speculation. It's theory, and you don't fucking have any fucking evidence to. No, I didn't get all the caches. Yeah, so you don't like there is no evidence to prove how humanity, or just like, I don't know, stuff like how old the Earth is. Like, I don't think it's just 6,000 years old as like the Bible suggests, but I really have no idea how old the Earth is, and all of these, you know, Jurassic periods or whatever, like, you know, I don't know, that it's just basically guessing. I'm not saying that Jurassic period didn't exist or anything, but it's like it's all fucking guessing, and people who are too, I don't know, gutless or gullible believe whatever like the scientists say, because like, oh, it happens so far away, it's so complicated, you don't fucking understand, and I don't know, I'm too old to buy into this shit, like to pretend anymore that I believe in their bullshit. Since I don't.
Okay, move up.
But yeah, it's like but my point is like, why the Bible and other like religions like that, what is badass about them? Like, they don't, like, even though like maybe their explanation is just more bullshit.
Can you help me? It's my husband, Elidad. He's gone missing. With all these soldiers around, I'm so frightened that something has happened to him.
I will locate him for you.
So yeah, like, even if like the explanations for all of these, like, you know, profound questions in like the explanations of religions are bullshit and false, is still an alternative to the false, like this thing that, because most people, they have no clue that it is a religious sentiment, like all of this materialism, evolution, all of it, like it's it's a religion masquerading as science, and it disgusts me.
This must be poor Eladad.
So sad. It disgusts me for both from like a spiritual standpoint and like a philosophical or scientific standpoint. Man, this mission is so fucking easy. I can just talk all the bullshit I want. And see, this is feminism in action. This level, like, it's made so fucking because it wouldn't be at all realistic that this, you know, woman, whoever, she's not even a biblical character, I don't think, like that she could, you know, sneak through all these guards and kill them and stuff, because she does actually much more damage than the men.
Alert, intruders!
And so it's ridiculous. Like, it's been made so easy because because it wouldn't be realistic at all. Like, if I don't know, like, why can't they make it difficult for her then, or something, like, oh, she's a really, you know, weak female, and if she gets caught, she'll be gang raped by these Philistines or whoever they are, Philistines. And yeah, that's why you have save and load function in this game. But no,
say, but it is
fucking feminism.
Significant provisions and supply personnel with him, as well as family members of his and his men.
Keep your fucking feminist female privilege out of my biblical games, thank you. Kill you. See? It's so fucking easy. La, 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 la.
You there! Halt!
Har.
Did you find him? Did you find my husband?
I did, JL. But I'm sorry to say that he is dead. He was killed by Philistine soldiers. I am so sorry.
He looks a bit like Frodo, you know, what's his name? Elijah Wood. Like a female Frodo. Flodo. Yeah. Hey, where's the... No! I need one more cliche. I'm gonna look around. Hey, it looks like some evil skull. There's eye, nose, and like some Cthulhu, rotten Cthulhu skull or something. Quite badass. Yeah, I wanna find the cache. There was one just here. I don't really know, like, do I even get like any, I don't know, more XP or loot or something for those things? But maybe I'm just like a whore for collectibles. Disgusting. If I don't find it here, I will give up. I'll just finish the level like a little bitch. Yeah, this one I found. And I guess the other one wouldn't be so close to here. Oh fuck. I don't know. Also in this level the pathing is sort of difficult. Like sometimes it looks like, oh, you can walk there, but you don't really, and she gets like, she's so dumb she gets sort of stuck in the scenery and stuff. Yeah, I'm not pissed about, oh, I'm playing as a female character, and because it's a completely unrealistic kind of character and stuff.